Hello.
Hello, you okay?
I'm good. I absolutely despise the start of a live when you have to do the horrible filler.
I just don't talk. I don't say anything. I just pretend that I'm doing something else, and I'm like,
Yeah. I feel like we didn't leave you waiting too long then.
No.
We were on it.
yeah.
We didn't want you to feel that pain.
I've been sat here for like 10 minutes, feels like a lifetime. You guys you're booked again.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. So yeah, we obviously are live on OK Magazine with the brilliant Jenna and Zoe from Married at First Sight. And we are here because you are in New Magazine this week.
Yeah.
Which is so exciting. Have you seen the whole shoot? Have you got the pictures?
Yeah, I went and weirdly bought it today. I hoped that the woman behind the till didn't see me on the front either, because I thought, God, that seems so vain. 2 copies as well, because Jenna wanted one.
Yeah, she needs to do one. And then Zoe's been working all day, so I then read it to her while she was in the bath.
You didn't strike the pose then that you've got on the front cover to see if they recognise you.
No. I did do it at the till, but Jenna wasn't there, so she didn't notice me.
It's Halloween themed, isn't it? It's very zombie-like, that pose. I don't know why we agreed to it, to be honest.
They told us that it was going to be flipped.
Yeah, they did. But it was meant to be like a zoomed in, like lying down.
Yeah.
But it's still cute.
It was cute.
It is. It's an absolutely stunning shoot. And obviously you guys, you spent such a huge amount of time in front of cameras. But how did it feel doing your first kind of magazine shoot together? Was it a bit different or?
Completely different, I thought.
It just felt very surreal, like you kind of just have to pinch yourself and be like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
And like really when we were filming, you're just being like you. So you're just like it's all whereas then they're like, oh, strike a pose, which then doesn't feel so natural. So it was completely different, but it was, I mean, we had the most amazing day.
We had such a good day.
Everyone
was so nice as well.
Yeah, the only way I can describe it, I felt like, when like you watch these TV programs, you can win a competition to do something like that. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
isn't it?
We'd won.
Yeah,
We just got invited down for the day.
Yeah, honestly, it's from start to finish. Like everyone there, we got on with everyone really well, didn't we?
Yeah, they were really lovely.
Everyone's really nice.
Oh, I'm so glad, especially because this would be so awkward if you'd had the worst day.
Never again.
Actually, can I just put
and so yeah, obviously if anyone has any questions for Jenna and Zoe, then please do put them in the comments. Or I can see some of your Married at First Sight co-stars coming in, which is amazing. I just want to gosh, there are so many things I could ask you. We are obsessed with Married at First Sight at OK and New, honestly. All of that time you spent in front of the cameras, obviously let's start with, I guess, when you left the show. What was it like to suddenly be in a relationship that wasn't in front of any cameras, living in a weird apartment block?
It's kind of, I think, you're kind of going to just like the next phase of the crazy experiment. So you got, like, the best way to explain it is when you go into the experiment, you face all of the problems that you would face in a relationship, say 2 years down the line. And so you're faced with, you have to, the kids thing and all of those things, those conversations that you wouldn't usually have, all of the little irritating things like eating biscuits in bed that people do. You don't usually irritate you for the first 6 months.
Yeah, we'd already gotten over that throughout the experiment. So then it was kind of like taking a step back after you leave and just having a very quiet, normal life for a few months. That's how it felt. And just kind of going back to doing it in reverse, back to dating and getting to know each other. And getting to know each other's families and our home environments. And I think that's where we really got to know each other on a different level.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the other way around, basically.
Yeah. We already knew that we could live together well. So that was a little tick.
Yeah.
I guess that's a pressure off, isn't it? Like, you've done that part at the start. So when it comes, you're like, well, we literally did it in the most pressurized environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
if you can get through that, you can get through anything.
Yeah. You've also got 6 other couples that are in and out the apartments and with all of their stuff that they've got going on. So it is a test. So
it's quite nice as well afterwards to be away from all the rest of the chaos and the rest of the drama and just focus on the two of you, because when you're in the experiment, it feels like not just you as a couple, but everyone else and their thoughts and opinions too.
Yeah.
So it is nice to kind of detach afterwards.
No, completely. I can totally imagine. And then when you came out, obviously the show was filmed a few months ago. So there was a point where I think when the show started airing in August, you guys were obviously still together, but we didn't even know you yet. Like we hadn't even seen the press shots of you. We hadn't seen your wedding. were you still together at that point, and could you kind of go on dates and stuff, and then you had to stop a little bit, or?
We kind of had to, I mean, our viewing party, we had most of the cast there. So we just, like, I arranged a place in Stafford, and then we had like a different entrance, and everyone kind of made their way in, just like snuck through the back door. Yeah, and then we all just had like a closed off area. And I mean, we've kind of stayed behind closed doors to a certain extent. I like quite a lot of staying anyway. I think we both do, don't we?
Yeah. But we didn't completely close ourselves off from the world. Like, we'd go out for dinner and drinks occasionally. Yeah. Because you can't. There's too many months to just like hibernate. You have to go out and do normal things. But we just tried to stay as inconspicuous as possible. Yeah. We did get noticed a couple of times.
We could be normal until it aired. Yeah, but then I remember when we went out in Blackpool once, we went for some food, and once one person recognised, that was it. Everybody was coming over, and they were like, "Can we have a photo?" And we were like, "You can, but don't show anyone, and we're not allowed to be out." And they were like, "It's fine, we won't tell anyone."
Because that was quite early on, like once it had started airing, I think it was like a couple of weeks in, wasn't it? So people were starting to notice us in the streets, and that was the first time I was like, "Oh my god, people know who we are." Yeah. So it was crazy.
Oh my god, I love that. So the wonderful people of Blackpool kept the secret for you.
Well done.
Well done.
And were you surprised as well? Because Married at First Sight has been a big show in the UK. I guess last year they kind of give it a bit of a renovation and a revamp, and it got a lot bigger. But this year's series has just been absolutely huge.
Yeah.
Did you kind of realise sort of how famous and recognisable you were going to get?
I think when you're in it, you're thinking, this is good TV, you know, and there's all the drama that's going on. But equally, it is our first time doing anything like this. And so also you're kind of thinking, are we just thinking that this is going to be great TV because we're seeing it firsthand? Whereas when it's on the TV, and then also when you start getting recognised, you've got nothing to compare it to, because obviously we don't know anyone that speaks, but we do obviously speak to people now. But at that point, you know, we hadn't realised, had we?
No.
So I think
how big it was going to be. I think it's been a lot bigger than we expected. And I think as well, you do just kind of get wrapped up in, like, our intentions going in there were just to meet somebody. So that it's like you've got these pure intentions, but you don't really think about the fame side of it and like people recognising you until it starts to happen. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're living these two separate lives. And it just takes some getting used to, but it's also really nice, like, especially when people do come up to you and ask for pictures and stuff. Yeah. Rather than taking them on the sly.
Yeah. You do get the odd one that's like, just like...
and you're like about to chow down on something.
Yeah, it's always the worst time. You're always like mid-eating or just about to put some food in your mouth.
Okay, we've got this out there now then for anyone watching. If they do see you, no awkward, horrible angles.
Yeah, just come up to us.
Just ask us, it's fine.
And I see loads of people asking questions in the comments. Lots of people asking, who are you still chatting to? Who are your friends from the show?
Shanita, Jordan, Sophie, Adrian, Jess.
Most people. Like PJ, Juka, you know, Gemma. You know, we speak to everybody really. There's only three people really that we don't talk to. So there's not, you know, it's not. We kind of walked away with it with kind of a lot of lifelong friends. Yeah. And no hard feelings towards most people. So I think we did quite well with it.
Yeah, we did.
Definitely. And speaking of lifelong friends, somebody else has just asked in the comments, how is Mr. Pickles?
Mr. Pickles is great. I moved house yesterday and he's moved in.
She doesn't know where he is though, because I've moved all of her stuff in, so I've hidden it somewhere. She has no idea.
I'll find him. So yeah, he's great. He's fine.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I hope he is. He better be. She wouldn't dare. She wouldn't.
I wouldn't. I'd be out the door before you know it.
I went and got him a Christmas hat the other day, ready for next month.
Look at you getting in the Christmas spirit all of a sudden. Yeah.
Only when it comes to Mr. Pickles.
I know. Grinch over here.
Oh my god, I absolutely love that. And did you say, have you moved in now?
Not together.
Not together.
No.
Oh, we did.
I'd sold my apartment before and I'd bought a house ages ago. So I'd already bought it before Jenna was.
Yeah, I just saw Sophie say, "Oh my god, Jenna touched the jar." Sophie, I didn't touch the jar. It's in a bag. The jar is inside a bag.
Yourself
I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
But not everyone's problem is.
And on the show as well, well, speaking of moving, we saw you both kind of struggling with who in the future at some point might be kind of leaving their hometowns. But then you said in your interview with us that you're actually thinking Brighton or Manchester could be like really lovely places to live. How did you kind of get to that decision, or why are you thinking those lines?
We initially thought Manchester, I think.
Yeah, it's funny because like we don't want to like diss the edit and stuff like that, but the edit did kind of show a different storyline to what actually happened between us. Yeah. We had in the process spoke about Manchester and meeting in the middle. Moving to Blackpool was never on the cards. I don't want to stay in Blackpool. I want to move away from Blackpool. So although I love it and my friends and my family are there, like I'd like to start afresh somewhere, and I think Zoe's kind of come around to that as well.
Yeah, my sister's just said not Brighton there.
It's a bit Brighton's a bit far.
It is far. However,
we both love it.
I think that Manchester was because, you know, Blackpool's here, Stafford's there, and Manchester's in the middle. And so it makes sense for like our family and stuff. And, you know, it's not too far for us to be able to, I'll be able to come and see my friends. I've got all of my friends are here, and it'd kill me to leave everybody. Yeah. But then Brighton, her sister lives in Brighton. And we went down there, and to be honest, to go somewhere and just feel completely at home and comfortable, as like, you know, as somebody that's gay, you know, I've never been somewhere and just felt like I could just be completely me. And so I think there's a lot to say for that. So I think that's the main reason why it's kind of
on our radar now.
Definitely on our radar.
It's in the mix.
Yeah.
Although you've had so many comments from friends being like, not Brighton, not Brighton, not Brighton.
And I'm probably going to get about 1,000 messages because they don't know that yet. So, but,
there you go, an exclusive for you again.
I'm so sorry. I'm just watching the comments come in. Manchester seems very welcoming. So, yeah, quite nice.
Yeah. And Adrian lives in Manchester, and I saw him last weekend. And where he lives is the most beautiful place. I haven't stopped thinking about it since.
Is it just outside of Manchester?
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. So, yeah, I'd like to live there.
I mean, what could be better than having Adrian as a neighbour, to be honest?
And that's what I said. I said, I'm going to buy that house over there. And then I'll just be like, Adrian, out the window, make him a coffee.
Please do that.
And so, sorry, and so.
And then, this was another thing I thought was really interesting. I don't think it's just me. I think all Married at First Sight fans, the dinner party says loads of drama, but I'm obsessed. What is the food? Now, you said in your interview that it's cold, but what is it? Is it nice? It looks good on camera, but...
It's some weeks ago in. Well, what was yours like, actually?
To be honest, mine was always pretty nice. Like, there was always similar, like, vegetables to what the rest of them were having, but then I'd have like a little like mushroom Wellington or something like that. It was usually like pastry based, but it was always delicious. But yeah, it was just a shame that it was cold most of the time.
Yeah, always beautifully presented, wasn't it?
Yeah,
always looked stunning.
Looked lovely, just
yeah. And some weeks it would be delicious, but then some weeks was.
I think it depends how quickly we got in there.
Well, no, so they put pork out once, and it was horrendous. Oh, but I mean, some of them, you know, we kind of push on plates. But I was quite well known for eating mine and then taking other people's plates and eating theirs too.
You did 3 at the reunion.
Yeah, I know. I'm out of control.
I'm impressed. Like,
thank you. I thought you were going to be disgusted, but I'll brag about it some more.
Oh my god, no, not in the slightest. Get it.
I love food. What can I say?
And then when you're in the apartments as well. Sorry, I'm going to just carry on with the food chat. Did you cook a lot? Is it Deliveroo all the time? Do you get to go to the shop? Like, what is happening?
We cooked all the time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Our apartment was so homely. Like, we kept it really nice and clean. We had candles on. We always had flowers in vases. And then we'd cook. It was always so nice. In fact, I miss it a little bit now I'm talking about it.
Jenna always demanded flowers in vases. We didn't want to buy them. So, yeah, have to always have flowers. But our apartment was really nice. We always cooked, and we do like things like, I remember we had a nacho night, which is like a
table,
famous. So it's like I foiled the whole table, and then just put nachos, and then did a little vegan section for Whitney.
Chili. We made a big chili.
Yeah. So we'd have like parties with like themes and stuff, and then everyone would come round. And to be fair, I think we hosted the most parties, didn't we?
Yeah, either us or Keisha and Kwame had quite a few nice affairs.
Keisha's food was.
Ours was like both like really homely places to be. It was nice.
good vibes.
Nice vibes.
Oh, I love that. And then it makes sense then. You like, I feel like hearing how lovely your apartment was, and you're the good hostesses, and you're the ones who made it to the end. I know it's not a competition, but
winners
sort of won.
But we won.
I'm joking.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that was really hot.
I'm gonna
I think I've had one sip. Too many.
Come on, drunk. It'll be headlines tomorrow, that will.
No, it already is headline news. Jenna drinks too much, apparently.
Oh dear.
And obviously you have out of the show as well, you've got these huge social media followings, and I want to talk a bit about the positive messages that you might have received from people, because I think we often talk about the negative ones, but have you had any messages or any fans you've got in contact with that it's just been really funny, or just the ones that you really love to get?
What, do you want to go?
No, you go. Oh yeah, I'll know what I'm saying after you.
I think I mean the main ones for me really are just being like lesbians that have just, or people that have just recently come out. Those are the ones that kind of mean a lot, because people kind of ask for advice, or they just share their journeys with you, and then just say how you know there's not any lesbian representation on TV, or there's not enough. And I think that this has been a massive thing for a lot of people. Yeah. And so to hear that and to know that they, in their opinion, you've represented well, means a hell of a lot to me. So I think that is the main thing for me.
We've just had so much love, and then it's like even parents that have children who've come out as gay have then messaged us being like, you've opened my eyes, like I feel like I understand more. And you don't realise, because we're just there living our life and being ourselves, that's having such an effect on other people's lives as well. So I'm just glad that, you know, it's all been positive really. And to add to mine, I think as well as that, being one of the best kind of messages I receive, I think a lot from people with alopecia, the alopecia community, people reaching out and just being really happy that there's someone representing on TV, because there's not a lot of that either.
Yeah, definitely. Can I just say hello, Adrian? I was just talking about your beautiful place in Manchester and how I live with you. Yeah. Sorry.
No, I love it. I love seeing them all pop up. Oh, there it is.
They're all supporters.
Amazing. And with both of those things as well, with being married at first sight's first lesbian couple, and yourself, you know, speaking out about the alopecia, like you were making TV history. Like those are really amazing moments. Did you feel kind of conscious of that? Were you always aware of it, or did you just not really think about it during filming?
I think we were just being ourselves, and I think just that in itself was representation. And I just think it's nice that it is reality TV, because the other dating reality TV shows don't tend to have like lesbian couples on there. So we're just so lucky, aren't we? And we are proud of ourselves, and people seeing us for who we really are, and that being real life. Like it's not we're not actors on a series, where this is our real life. So I think that's what made it good representation.
Yeah, I think that there was I remember on the wedding day just thinking, because you do feel I felt an overwhelming amount of pressure beforehand, that obviously you are going to be the first lesbians to go on there, and you can do your part. If you're matched with somebody that's a complete idiot, you're going to struggle, aren't you? And then you know, what if I was with somebody that's really argumentative? You know, you've got this one opportunity to kind of represent. And I remember thinking on the wedding day that it didn't matter whether or not we worked or not, that we just had this respect for each other straight away, that we would never be, you know, disrespectful. And I think that helped and made it a lot easier, I think.
Agreed.
So thank you.
Oh, such lovely answers, guys. I'm just like
don't cry.
And since the show finished, what is something that you have learned about each other that you didn't learn during filming? Doesn't have to be really serious, can be really fun if you want, but just anything that you didn't quite realise during the show.
How long? So I didn't realise that how much filming it took to just film one little part. I think that was the biggest thing, you know, like the backstories. How long did that take? 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days, and then you see like 2 minutes.
And not even that. I mean, mine was, I think, on the stag do they filmed, and maybe a little bit on the wedding. But you're probably on, what, 7 minutes, because there's 2 weddings. So your backstory is like it's so short, isn't it? And you are filming for 3 whole days, doing all different, and loads of it's cut. And you're just like, oh, I ran through the park with pigeons flying over me. It was amazing. I'm like, where is it? Slow-mo? Furious still?
I think I misunderstood the question.
Oh, is that what you asked?
Sort of a bit different, but we can...
You misunderstood.
I misunderstood the question. Sorry.
Okay. What have you learned about each other since the camera stopped rolling?
I just think, like, for me, I've learned that we're a lot like more secure and we can trust each other a lot more. I think it's hard in the experiment to really like give your all to somebody because there's the pressure of being filmed, and letting your guard down is quite hard. And I think that might be the reason why we didn't say like the L word until like we'd gone home and we'd really spent the time together getting to know each other. So yeah, I think just that really. I don't know. What have you learned about me?
Don't know actually. I think it's a whole. It's everything. You learn everything. It's like starting again. Yeah. You might as well scrap all of that and then start again, because you just
because this is the real us in the real world.
Yeah, because
like,
it's like family. Yeah, you can meet somebody in where it's just the two of you, but like your family and your friends and your occupation and where you live, they all form part of you, and they're all huge parts of you that you like. I don't think you realise that until you come back out, that those are these factors and these people that are around you have like a huge impact on everything. You know, if you took somebody home and everybody hated them, then that would have a huge impact on whether or not you were going to want to be, whether you wanted it to or not. And I think that is.
I think we both realised that we're both a bit weird as well.
Yeah, you're really odd. Jenna is so odd, and she hid it well. And then when we got out, that's it. Then I was really sucked in.
You love it.
Weird guy.
Absolutely love it.
Everyone's a bit odd though, aren't they?
I mean, I think you'd dial down your odd on television. I'd be the same, and then I would come off and they would be like, who is this woman?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And we've got some really good questions that have come in from people who are watching, so I'm going to try and do a few of them now. Someone has asked, I love this one, I'm also desperate to know, Jenna, can you tell us the story behind your Blue Peter tattoo?
Oh God, yeah. Do you know what? I've not told this story yet. I don't think. I get messages all the time, but I just think I'll tell everyone at one time. So I hope everyone's here that wants to know. So basically, obviously my dad passed away during COVID in 2021. So me and my sister both wanted to get a tattoo to like remember him, like to represent him. And he used to basically. He had quite a dry sense of humour, so as kids or even as adults, like if we'd go to him with something like that we were really proud of, like, oh, guess what, I got Star of the Week today, Dad. He'd be like, what do you want, a Blue Peter badge? So yeah, it's just kind of like a bit of a funny, like, yeah, thing for him.
Absolutely. Remember him by. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's such a nice story. And then this one is looking a lot further down the line, obviously no pressure. If things do work out and you stick together, would you have another wedding?
Yep. Look at Jenna straight away.
I can see ya. You feel your head already.
Sweating. I think that naturally, like, yeah, I think that we wouldn't. I would probably get married. Yeah, I think so. I think naturally we would have. Jenna hates anything that's like a tradition. Or traditional, but I think naturally, like, you'd move in together and then, you know, get married, a few babies.
Potentially. And I'm so scared I'm going to put the pressure on and then be responsible for breaking.
Honestly, we've been through that many pressure situations.
We're used to it.
We were in a pressure cooker for 12 weeks. There's nothing you can say to us that's going to true. So do not panic about asking us anything.
Yeah. That is very true, actually. I'm like, Rachel, did just watch the whole of Married at First Sight, right? Like they've been through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And somebody else asking about filming the show. Did you get to FaceTime your families or speak to them while you were on it, or was it just when you did the home visits?
So we'd be able to have our phones back to do things like pay bills. So we were allowed our phones, and then sometimes they would leave us, and then we would
FaceTime our family.
Yeah, really quickly. And then I'd be like, I'd be on watch. And then I'd hear him and I'd be like, let's do it, try and go, and then she'd hang up quickly. Yeah, so, but not as often as we would want to.
Yeah, most of the time it's just the two of you.
Yeah, I think that was my mum then saying something about gabies.
Oh, was it? Hi, Dawn.
I love it.
Maybe one day.
Oh, Emma's here as well, my other sister. Christ, they're all on.
Like, are they supportive or are they like just getting the goss, like checking what you say?
No, they're definitely supportive. I think they're all here for the gaby talk though. They want me to have kids. No pressure.
Let's talk about this later.
To change the subject really quickly.
No, let's talk about it longer, make it feel uncomfortable.
Shell is asking, this is a cute one. Your first Christmas together is coming up. What will your plans be?
Well, I haven't actually told the family this, so I'll tell them on this line.
I'm coming. Way.
Jenna's coming for Christmas here this year.
And then we'll alternate it.
Yeah, so we'll alternate it. I mean, my sisters kind of have always said, because I've been single like most Christmases, and so I usually am alone one Christmas and then the next one everyone's together. And they've always said they need to jump on board with the Christmas that we're all together, and then the next year at the partners. Yeah. Unfortunately, Jenna is on board with that, so she'll be.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Christmas with the Cliftons. Can't wait.
That sounds like a show title.
I know. Oh my God, let's pitch it to Channel 4.
Yeah. Keeping up with the Cliftons. I think we should do it.
Let's do it. I'm copywriting it. But yeah. Are we taking 10% like Kris Jenner?
No problem. That's fine. Deal.
You're on the camera.
Okay, I don't want to like keep you for the whole evening. And we haven't got long left, but I thought what we could do is finish with a bit of a Mrs. and Mrs. quiz. I don't have to worry about splitting you up anymore, so it's totally I guess we're going to ask you a series of questions, and then I guess if you think the answer is you can put your hand up. If not, you can point at each other. Okay. We don't have the budget for props, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on your new magazine shoot, who was the biggest poser?
Yeah.
I love it. Owns up straight.
Saying that, she knows how to pose. She's got like a one pose like that she goes to.
I've got a go-to pose.
I've not got a go-to
and it
pose.
Works. So, you know, you saw the photos.
Yeah. What's the confidence thing?
I love this suit, Jenna. It's sensational.
It is cool, isn't it?
That is cool.
I didn't keep that. Damn it.
Yeah, you should have done, because you had loads of compliments on that.
I know. I kept the blue skirt. I really like it.
Did you not bring a little suitcase? And
I don't think we were allowed to take any stuff.
We were like this. All the way out. Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Quiet, but we're on Instagram Live, so it's too late.
Yeah. Hi, April. April's on.
Oh, hi, April.
Who is the messiest?
We like that.
I'm losing this game.
Who is the best in a pub quiz?
Yeah, she is. We did a pub quiz together and she's absolutely smashed it. Yeah, and I don't like losing, but she unfortunately
I win most things we do together.
So are you really competitive, or are you just?
We're both so competitive.
And she doesn't win.
I do. You know, you've even admitted it. You're like, you do actually win all the time. It's really annoying.
Maybe we should do another live and we'll just do mini games to see who wins the most.
Okay, I'm down.
Oh, I've got to smash it. Okay.
Who should be in charge of decorating when you move in together?
Are you joking?
You
decorating?
Oh, as in like you can do the decorating.
Oh, hang on. But what as in?
Plan.
As in actual physically the decorating,
or planning the decorating?
Well, I think we can do both. So planning it.
Oh, I think me.
I think we're both very similar tastes, so I wouldn't mind, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
very similar.
Yeah.
Apart from the witchy stuff, we just need to
get rid of the witchy stuff and some of the. I mean, her sofa is horrendous.
Yeah, do you know how many compliments I've had on that sofa? I get DMs all the time.
It's uncomfortable. I bang my head on it every time I sit on it. Okay, and then in charge of the labour of decorating. Definitely me.
Definitely Zoe.
Okay.
You split that up very well. The tips from the experts are really
resolved quickly.
Yeah.
Well, and then final one, who is most likely to sign up for another reality TV show?
Oh, really? I don't know. I think we're both similar again.
Yeah.
I think we're not bothered, but if something came our way, then we would probably do it. Like Zoe would be great on Big Brother, and I feel like I don't know what I'd be good on. I'd love Strictly.
Something where like you have to go in nature and live off the earth.
Oh yeah. No,
like,
because the only one I can think of for that is Survivor, and we kill animals, and I couldn't do that.
Well, you just scurry berries into
yeah, I'd eat all the berries.
Yeah.
Boy George, I'm a Celeb, he's vegan.
Oh really?
And then you get the eating trial. You don't have to eat.
Well, this is what. So if I ever went on I'm a Celeb, I would all of a sudden say, oh, "I'm really sorry. I've decided Jenna is absolutely right, and I'm going to be vegan." And then I'd just have a place of veg as a challenge.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have to eat a widgety grub.
I know, not those.
If you did that, you wouldn't be the first celeb to. People have claimed veganism.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
excellent.
I mean, it should be a thing. I agree with that.
But then when their meals come out of camp and you've got nothing but like, I'll just be like, oh, I've changed my mind. I'll have some chicken tonight.
Very flippant.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it has been so amazing chatting to you, and I literally could chat to you all night, but sadly we've all got other things to do. We have got your interview in New Magazine, looking absolutely stunning. So if anyone is watching and you haven't read it yet, you can buy the mag, or you can go to the OK website and you can read it there. It's been an absolute dream, girls. Have a lovely evening.
It's so nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.